May not realize it, but tomorrow is the deadline to file your 2015 tax return. So if you've procrastinated, you have today and tomorrow to do so. The weather certainly won't help. It's going to be so nice outside. Well, here to help us through a few burning questions about the tax deadline is financial advisor Elaine Beadle, and thanks a lot for joining us.
You're welcome.
Here with a couple of days left. Let's talk about one of the first things. Again, you have today and tomorrow to get your taxes in by the deadline. What if you can't get them done?
Well, the thing you have to do then is to file an extension. And when you file for an extension with the federal government, the IRS, you get an additional 6 months. So which should normally be October 15th, but that's a Saturday, so you now have October 17th to get all of your paperwork in your final tax returns. And the same thing with the state of Indiana. You get a little bit longer, but you need to file an extension by the end of day tomorrow. Now, the real kicker here is that even though you have more time to get all your paperwork together and to file it, you still have to pay any tax that you owe by deadline tomorrow. So you can't say, well, I'll just wait and figure it out later and pay it. You really do have to pay it with your extension. And so you almost have to do an estimate. You know, so if you're missing a piece of paper, but you know what the number should be, you're going to have to do that estimate, because if you don't pay enough, you're going to have both a penalty and interest to pay when you do have to pay up. So.
Okay, so figure out what you owe and then mail in that estimated amount.
Right, exactly.
Now, does everyone need to file an income tax return?
Well, that's a good question, and the answer is no. But it depends on your age, your filing status, and how much income you do make. So, for example, if you're single, under age 65, and your income from all sources is under $10,300, you don't have to file a tax return because you won't owe tax. If you're married filing joint, that number is twice that amount, $20,600. But the problem is you do not get a credit that you may be due, a tax credit, or you can't file for a refund if you don't file your tax return. So let's say you were under that amount, but you actually had tax withheld. You can get that back by filing your tax return, so you still want to do that. Now, for a lot of people who still are a little confused, because again, it makes a difference on age and what tax status you're in, or filing status, go to the irs.gov website and go to Interactive Tax Assistant, ITA. And you will be, in 15 minutes, you'll figure out if you have to file your taxes or not by answering some questions for them.
Oh, one question the parents and even their kids may have is, when are the children supposed to file a tax return?
Well, we have something called kiddie tax. So as long as the child is under age 19 or under age 24 but in college, then the income needs to go on the parent's tax return, with the exception that if their income's above a certain level, they still have to file their own tax return. They're still a dependent on the parent's return, but they file their own tax return. And that amount for unearned income, which is interest, dividends, capital gains, is $10,500. So if it's more than that, the child files their own. Or if they had a job and they earned more than $6,300, then they have to file their own tax return as well. So in addition to being a dependent on parents' tax return, they may have to file their own independent tax return. So people tend to overlook that once in a while as well.
Okay, but the bottom line, if you cannot get them done in time, you can still file for an extension. But
you have to pay your tax with it.
All right, but if you have a refund coming, then you just pretty much have to wait for your refund.
Right, exactly. So you want to file as early as you can to get that refund, obviously. But then there's,
All right, Elaine Beadle, some valuable advice. Thanks very much, and good luck to everybody who has to do their taxes.
And a beautiful day.
Yeah, in this kind of weather. All right, Elaine, thanks again.